Good morning, afternoon, or evening, wherever you're at, ladies and gents. I am Kura Isagami, your resident tinkerer and Medarotter, and this is the Medarot News Network, bringing you all the latest developments and happenings with our favorite pet fighting robot series. Well, this week it looks like we're going to be slowing things down just a little bit in terms of all the new content or new bots that we're getting in recent. But even then, we still do have a number of pretty big surprises that were revealed in this morning's stream on the official channel. Most of which was actually an interview with Mr. Tagro, who is actually very well known as a very popular Medarot artist that they do go to often for designs, and contributed a lot specifically towards Medarot 5 most notably, but also with a handful of designs that have been debuting in Medarot S, as you see here with the new Centaur type that we see that will be joining us this week as well. In particular, this week we're going to be highlighting one of the main characters from the earlier games, Hakuma of the White Tiger, as well as Mizuchi of the Azure Dragon, which were part of a quartet that we're seeing more of a somewhat antagonistic group in the earlier games, 3 and 4 I believe most notably, before they were made, and have not really made a lot of appearances since. But with that being said, let's go ahead and jump right into what was announced for this week, starting of course with the gacha banners for these holy beasts that are being highlighted. First of which, of course, is the new Centaur type, CTR-01 Desai Centaurus, with a kit of Deathlock, Effect Clear, High Blow, Multi-Legs, and the leg ability of Dead or Alive. Now, for those that might look at this model and say, wait, that model looks a little bit familiar for a second, you actually are right, because this model is a direct upgrade to the original Centaur type we had, Ku Centaurus, who is primarily a shoot-based design, whereas this one seems to be focused more on getting up close and personal. Behind him, we also have an official debut of BYC-0 Thunder, the White Tiger type, with a kit of Slip, Double Wave, Biped Legs, and the leg ability of Captor. Now, Thunder actually has shown up once or twice in previous as an enemy-only type bot, and has been incredibly elusive ever since. But, with the highlight of the super rare Medarotter Hakuma himself, that was released earlier this week on Monday, it does mean that we will be seeing her official debut into the game permanently as a gacha model that can be pulled. Now, Thunder is also capable of transforming into a tiger-like meta change form, and in this form, she changes her kit out for Freeze, Stat Cleanse, Slash, Multi-Legs, and the leg ability of Blow Beat, which makes her just a little bit more on the aggressive side, despite her being very largely ailment and interruption-based. But, as mentioned, both of these models will be highlighting Hakuma of the White Tiger in particular, given that he has used both of these bots, or at least Ku Centaurus in Centaurus' case, in previous games when he was most notable and debuted. Alongside Hakuma, we are also highlighting Mizuchi of the Azure Dragon as well, with 2 rerun banners, this time highlighting LWT-01 Mizrash Levia, the Leviathan type, the upgraded form, with a kit of Perfect Guard, Double Hyper Freeze, Sea Legs, and the leg ability of Elusive. And then behind him, we also have a rerun of SRU-0 Longan, the Seiryu type, with a kit of First Aid, Double Field Repair, Biped Legs, and the leg ability of Fairy Charge. Now, as previous, much like Thunder, Longan also is capable of meta change, changing the kit out for Melt, Restore, Rebirth, Sea Legs, and the leg ability of Fix Plus. Now, as mentioned, these two are highlighting in particular Mizuchi of the Azure Dragon, whereas Levia is standing in for Me Leviathan, who was his bot of choice in Medarot 4 when he made his appearance alongside Longan as the sidekick bot in particular. Now, both these models and both of Hakuma's models are both incredibly useful in one form or another in terms of offense, combat, long range, or close, healing, or even ailments on top of that. You really can't go wrong pulling for any of these. And it is worth pulling, especially for, say, Longan in this case, given that healers of his caliber, especially of the male variety, are rather rare and hard to see these days. Not just that, he also does tick off a lot of boxes for healing HP, restoring parts, or even raising fallen allies too, which makes him an incredible asset on any team that he is used on. Now, with the Fierce battles we have this week, it's going to be just a little bit lower key in many places, but still very useful all the same. Highlighting us for the fierce battles this week, we have SCB-0 Kanabunbun, the Scarab Beetle type and parody beetle, with a kit of triple bug, multi-legs, and the leg ability of Spearhead. Behind him, we have VGD-0 Death, the Reaper type, with the kit of Optic Guard, Double Sacrifice, Float Legs, and the leg ability of Mirage. And then, last but not least, we also see everyone's favorite octopus type, CLA-01 Kanahachi Mach 2, with a kit of triple hold, multi-legs, and the leg ability of Mariner. Now, I did mention Kanabunbun in particular as the MVP of the week, but if I'm completely honest, all three have something that make them worth using one way or another. Kanabunbun in particular make very good use of turn skipping with Bug, and multi-legs with Spearhead means he will be going just a little bit faster than what his base stats would tell you at first glance, thanks to a boost to his heat stat. Hachi Mark II, on the other hand, is honestly very useful primarily for the legs, for the fact that they are multi-ped, but also with the ability of Mariner, which grants S rank on aquatic terrain, which, as a reminder, not a lot of legs really have mastery on, except sea legs in pretty much in exclusivity, which means extra leg types that have Mariner honestly are a very good note in my book for a very difficult leg type to master. Geodeath is honestly pretty solid too if you do get a hold of him, but I would honestly consider him more one of those collector's models more than anything else, since even his version of Sacrifice is kind of on the lower end of the damage potential compared to other models such as, say, Answai or Belzelga or someone else of the like that does have some kind of Sacrifice-like skill. Now, as mentioned with the super rare Medarots, the SR version of Hakuma of the White Tiger has already debuted this week as of yesterday, or Monday in particular, and is being paired with Mizuchi of the Azure Dragon. Now, we actually have already had the SR version as well as the N and R versions of Mizuchi as well, so he really is nothing new. And in addition, we also have already seen Hakuma as well in N and R versions. So none of those really are anything worth noting after, since, well, we already have it. But, in particular, we are getting the super rare version of Hakuma, which possesses a new skill, which is buffing success and crit rate by 50%, as well as heat by 30% for one turn. So this means you will have a much higher chance and likelihood of landing your hit and a crit on top of that, and you will go notably faster to the line once the skill is activated. Now, for sake of highlighting it, Mizuchi's SR skill buffs evade relative to seed charge percentage, which means the higher of a Metaforce charge you have, the more likely you are to dodge or graze a lot of incoming attacks on that one turn it's activated. Now, in particular, the reason why Hakuma is being highlighted as well as Mizuchi is because we are getting a brand new event to highlight going through this week, where he is one of the main highlights and heads, as well as a reward item. With this new event, you can challenge it to earn the N and R versions of Hakuma of the White Tiger if you don't already have him. But in a surprising turn of events, we have not one, but two event rewards that can be farmed. The first of which is GRH0 Head Locust, the Grasshopper type, with a kit of Effect Clear, Charge Plant, and Destroy with Flight Legs and Rumbling. But in particular, he is also unique in the sense that he is a new model coming to the game, which is honestly very nice to see yet another returnee from the early games make a re-debut. In addition to Head Locust, we are also seeing the return of Kucentaurus CTR0 as an event reward, which will be a very good opportunity for anyone that perhaps missed him the first time or second time around with a rerun to go ahead and pick him up. Because unlike most other event rewards, which are kind of hit and miss in terms of if they're useful or not, Kucentaurus is actually pretty solid to make use of and generally would never hurt to have raised and on hand just in case you do need him. In addition, you can also earn the Pawn Medal with a mastery in melee, defense, and setup, and leg masteries in multi, flight, and sea legs with an assist-based nature. So assist-based natures mean you will get a passive boost to your HP just for using the medal, and in case of healers or tanks, this is honestly something you can generally never ever go wrong with using. So this will be a very good event and a very lucrative one to make use of as well. In addition of how the event is operated, it will be milestone based. So finally we get a break from all the ticket based events where you gotta split parts and maximize bonuses, which are honestly fixed to a point. With milestone, it is percentage based, which means it does encourage you using pure sets wherever possible. So if you do get lucky and pick up Desai Centaurus, for instance, or Thunder, whichever you prefer, you will get that very nice 15% bonus up per part equipped. Of course, that is also assuming the parts are fully capped at 5-star. 10% bonuses for Longon and Mizrash Levia. 8% bonus for Head Locust as the event reward in particular. And then a 6% bonus for Cross, Kusantaris, as well as the 3 Fierce Battles this week. For Medarot bonuses, pretty much the same thing. Super Rares will give you a much higher bonus deal out for bonus points. The N and R versions may not give you as much, but better than not having anything at all. Once again, this event will be pure set based because it is milestone, so this is definitely a good chance to make use and capitalize on some pure sets, especially since we have a couple this week that specialize in meta change and transforming. Now on the community front, we are still always looking for translators to assist us with any incoming projects that we have or ongoing projects, currently of which is the Medarot 3 translation project, as well as the Medarot Reloaded manga. Medarot 3 has been making incredible progress in leaps and bounds at last check. Currently it is about 35-40% fully translated, but still lots more text that's needed to be translated before the game can be considered complete. My buddies and Wiset and Variant have already started working on decompiling Medarot 4, so if you would like to help to assist with that, or even help see those games, or even future games like Medarots 2 or 5 or Navi to completion, feel free to reach out to me or join us in our Discord in the link provided below, and we can get you up to speed with the latest with the latest that has been done and what still needs done up to date. Now, with all the news aside, I believe this is what most of my other irregular viewers are officially waiting on, are the results of the Project Rising Beetle Orimeda contest of spring 2023. Now, I do have to say, first of all, thank you so much, because you guys actually have made it difficult on me, as I mentioned, because even if we only had just a little over a dozen entries or so, all of them were very wonderfully created and had a lot of great creativity and time and effort put into them. To the point I even had to reach out to a couple other buddies of mine unrelated, just for some extra feedback and opinions on what they thought were the best ones based on the designs present. But going in reverse order from the bottom up, I am going to officially start with the honorable mentions. These guys have not officially placed in top 3, but they were still worth noting for their wonderful creativity and design. First of which is Electra Bee by Afro and Rioter by Nier, both of which in our Discord server. Both of you did a wonderful job on your designs. I do wish I could have rated you higher, but based on overall opinions, they still rated in the top 5, which made them wonderful designs all the same. So wonderful work, and congratulations to the both of you on your wonderful and amazing designs. Starting of which with 3rd place and 2nd place going up. 3rd place goes to Miss Easter of G-Gonk, 3872 on Discord, for the very cute and colorful Easter design, Miss Easter. And then 2nd place goes to Panchio 6051 for the giant shell tortoise type. Both of you also did a wonderful job, and these also were very popular designs that were chosen, not just by myself, but also by my buddies for overall opinion of who ranked top overall. So the both of you, congratulations, and definitely looking forward to seeing more designs as we hold more contests. Wonderful work to the both of you as well. And then, last but most certainly not least, 1st place and the grand prize winner of the Orimeda competition is by Which Way Games, Eric's176, for the design of Hollow Jack. Wonderful work to you for a very creative design on one of your original creations converted into a Medarot format. You honestly did a very, very good job converting it into that design in the Medarot format as mentioned, and this design was actually very commonly picked by pretty much everyone I showed it to as a top design overall. So alongside the honorable mentions and 3rd and 2nd place, as well as Which Way Games himself, congratulations on your place in the Orimeda contest. Now, I will have someone reach out to you shortly, not long after this episode goes live, in terms of your awards for winning, and they will be discussed there via DMs with that person. So again, wonderful work. Congratulations to all of you that participated, not just those that placed, and do to be on the lookout for future contests as time goes on, because I do want to try to make it a point to hold more as time goes on and engage the community more often with more creative designs. But with all that being said, I do appreciate you all for stopping by, just as you always have. I do believe that covers everything for this week's episode. So again, thank you so much for stopping by, just as you always have. If you'd like to know more, you can follow us below on Facebook at the Medarot News Network page or the Metabots Forever community on there. You can also join us on Discord in the link provided and in the comments below to keep an even closer ear to the ground on the action. This includes any new merchandise that's being announced, any new fan art, my weekly episodes, or anything else of the like. That Discord server is the first place you'll hear before it goes anywhere else. You can also reach out to me personally on Twitter at IsaGamiKura if you have any questions or feedback or comments, or would even just love to reach out and say hello. I leave my DMs open for that very reason, and we'll try to get back to you when I can. In addition to this, if you are a streamer or a VTuber and would love to collaborate with me or would love to have me on your channel or vice versa here with me on the MNN, feel free to reach out as well. I would absolutely love to coordinate something sometime in the future, whether that be you as a rookie Medarotter just starting out, or a seasoned vet who'd like to come in and kind of weigh in on what we have on that particular week. Do also give these wonderful followers of the Medarot community a great look at as well. Tagro at Tagro Chang, who, as I mentioned, has been responsible for a pretty fair number of the designs we've been seeing in recent. In particular, he has been known for working on Answai, Dureza Dieci, Mizrash Levia, and now Desai Centaurus were some of the more notable designs as mentioned. It was also highlighted in this morning's stream, in the interview with Mr. Tagro, that he is working currently on a new Wyvern type, as well as a couple other designs that he wants to tinker with before they're introduced in Medarot S. So definitely keep an eye out for that and give him a follow. Do also give Sylvalion041 a follow as well for more wonderfully designed Medarot art, and yet another artist that Medarot likes to reach out to for a lot of very unique designs or concept art. A lot of notable designs they've come up with, for instance, include one of the designs from the Ghost in the Shell collaboration, Takanome, or a number of other unique designs there from previous Orimeda contests. So definitely give both of these two people a follow as well. But with all that being said, once again, I do appreciate you all for stopping by just as you always have, and until next time, this is your host, Kura Isagami of the Medarot News Network, signing out.